Okay, today I am in Grand Rapids. Today I'm at a really popular place a lot of people really know about. So if you know where I'm at, go ahead and put in the comments below. I definitely want to know if you know this city that I'm in right now. I'm in Grand Rapids. What's the name of this thing? I remember trying to climb it as a kid growing up, but you know, spoiler alert, you can't really climb it. But in this video today, we're gonna go over 10 reasons not to move to this city. Stick around to number 9 because that's gonna be a huge determining factor for most people considering to move to Grand Rapids. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, my name is Greathouse. I am a local real estate agent and your official host to Living Great in Grand Rapids and the West Michigan area, the surrounding areas. I was born and raised in Holland, so I know this city like the back of my hand. I used to live downtown, actually not too far from here, just a couple blocks down the road. But today, I'm walking to my destination, which is on the river today. So I wanted to kind of go over some of the reasons why people won't move here, why you may not want to be here, and you might want to check these off your list before you decide. So I've had the privilege of helping hundreds of families move out to the area, and I want to help you too. See if this city's right for you, and if not, cool. If it is, great, get a hold of me. Hot day outside, and I want to go over these in no particular order, but I'm just gonna give it to you straight. You know, as a real estate agent, you know, I get people who are calling me from the channel. They get a hold of me all the time, and they're wondering if Grand Rapids is a city that they'd actually like, somewhere they could see themselves, and I'm just that guy that's gonna tell you straight. Hey, if you like these things, it's probably for you. If you don't come here. It's not really, you know, it's not really me trying to tell you what to do, but it's just kind of helping you as a guide, boots on the ground, someone who's lived here, and I'll shoot you straight. I mean, I've helped tons of clients move out here because we had to make sure it was really a good fit. And so opposed to being just a regular real estate agent, I'm just more of a guide. And I just happen to have a real estate license. So with that being said, number 1 is going to be the brutal winters. Now, we're in Michigan, we're in the Midwest, so you already know it's cold here. It gets cold in the wintertime, and one of the things to keep in mind is the fact that we live near Lake Michigan. And for some people, that's a pro, some people that's a con, but at the end of the day, it gets a lot colder here than some people can handle. So if you don't like winter, you don't like sleet and snow and slipping and sliding everywhere, this may not be a place for you. It's really one of those things where in West Michigan, we really make the most of the winter time. And as someone who was born and raised in the area, I've traveled a little bit, seen different places, especially around the US. It's just a special thing, you know, to know that people can be given lemons and make lemonade out of it is really sort of the attitude that's here. We make the most of our activities, you know. We got salt trucks that go on the street and make sure the roads are dry. I mean, who wants to be sliding all over the road? So they do a really good job of that. The next thing to know is that we have fun year round. So the brutal winters mean mainly doing activities in the winter time. There's a lot of snow events. They have a thing called the World of Winter that we usually celebrate the winter time. And it's a huge celebration for a lot of people who live in the city and just want to enjoy the winter. Bunch of ice sculptures, ice games, ice exhibits. And that's a really big selling point, especially during the winter months. All right, reason number 2 is going to be car dependency. A lot of people here in the area, I mean, it's gonna do you really well to have a vehicle in this area. Now, there are parts of the city that you may not need a vehicle. There are parts of the city that you can just get by with taking the bus or anything like that. So behind me, if you can see this right here, this is the Rapid, and the Rapid is usually around $40 a month. You can get a pass. Otherwise, it's like, I think $3 a day or $4 a day for a day pass. And a lot of people use it as a means of transportation. Some people will park on the outskirts of downtown and take the Rapid into town. And another cool thing about if you work downtown and maybe you want to leave your office building and go grab lunch is going to be the Dash. And the Dash is another bus route that goes through here that it's mainly around the city. So car dependency is really big in the area now. A lot of people live in the, I guess you call the suburbs of Grand Rapids, Jenison, Rockford, Lowell, Byron Center, all the surrounding areas, Hudsonville, Grandville. And if you don't have a vehicle going back and forth, it's probably going to be pretty tough. So that's another reason. If you gotta have easy transportation to get to and from, and you live in a suburb of Grand Rapids, it's probably not the place for you, or you probably need to go ahead and get that license going and get you a vehicle so you can travel back and forth. Number 3 is going to be limited diversity. So as far as diversity in the city, if you're considering places like Detroit or Chicago for the diversity of the city, we have limited diversity. This is very traditional type of area, but there is a lot of new things coming to the city that is creating more diversity. Now it's growing. If you want to be a part of that growth, this is going to be a really good opportunity for you as you're going into a new city. We're progressing in different ways, whether it's, medical, arts, food industry, beer, furniture. These are all industries that are planted right here in the Grand Rapids area that you can be a part of and contribute to. So if you're looking for an established city, this isn't it. But if you're looking for a growing city with a lot of opportunity, might be for you. All right, reason number 4 you may not want to be in Grand Rapids is there is a clique-ish sort of culture, So to be more specific as far as what I mean by clique-ish, it's just very much so as a lot of people have family ties to the city. It's it's just a big small town. It's like the perfect little big town. That behind me is DeVos Place, just in case you're wondering. And that is the Bridgewater Varnum building right there. You can see it in the skyline. So just walking downtown, and right next to me is the Amway. The place is big. Quick tour. And so you do have, people who have strong family ties here, people that have grown up here for generations. So coming in and making friends right away can be a challenge. But the thing to keep in mind is a lot of people come here and they find their tribe. So finding your tribe, finding out your type of people, whether it's art, music, food, dance, whatever it is, you will find your tribe. And a lot of times it's really easy to make a friend based on those interests. So if you're going to concerts, you probably see a lot of the same people at different concerts, and hitting the ground running is a big deal. And I did a video talking about, one of the biggest things that people don't do when they're coming here, the biggest thing they forget. And one of those things were not doing enough due diligence to find their tribe. And so people move here, and 68% of people who move here end up saying like, I haven't made any friends, I haven't done any of that. And that is all predicated on you doing your research to find your tribe. It's a really big deal when you have a sense of community that is so supportive here in West Michigan, which is a huge highlight that you don't want to miss out on. Number 5 is going to be conservative surroundings. Now, this is something that I can kind of put pros and cons to in respect to, whatever your flavor is. Like I was just talking about, finding your tribe is going to be really key when it comes to moving to a new city. It doesn't matter what city you move to, but finding your tribe is going to be of the utmost importance as you're doing your due diligence. Now when it comes to finding your tribe, whether it's politically, socially, economically, whatever that is, it's all in the due diligence and really researching the area. Because I tell a lot of people who move here, more than likely you're going to be able to find your type of people here. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, traditionally, on the grand scheme of things, and this is more of a traditional type of area. This is more of a traditional type of town, and the surroundings areas are sort of old school. So if that's something that you're not wanting to be around, you may want to double check on that as you're deciding. Number 6 is going to be the bland food scene. Now, behind me, there's nothing bland about this right here. This is Kitchen by Wolfgang Puck. And now I've put together a PDF guide to show you exactly what those specifics are. So if you're interested in moving to the area or just coming to visit, you're going to get a good dose of what that transition is like coming to the West Michigan area. This restaurant knows good flavor, so it's really one of those things where it's hit or miss. I'm just gonna be honest. When it comes to the food scene here in West Michigan, it's hit or miss depending on what types of food you're looking for. Now, I've had food in Detroit, I've had food in Chicago, and let me tell you, it's way more diverse. You get way more options. You have way more of a different experience when it comes to those areas. And here we try. We do the best that we can to bring outside flavors into the city, and there's so much going on as far as the growth of the city, changes that are being made. And one thing I do want to point out as a huge highlight is the farm to table scene being so prevalent and so huge here when it comes to the Grand Rapids area and the food scene. So if you're looking for that real farm to table, a lot of organic, there are people that are huge on that when it comes to this area, and they will not touch or go near any restaurant that isn't farm to table. So keep that in mind as you're deciding. It may be sort of a bland food scene, but if you're looking for a very diverse food scene and you're a foodie, you love to go out to eat all the time, this may not be for you, and that's probably a reason not to move here. Now, reason number 7, Grand Rapids might not be for you, is going to be the wage comparison. So, Grand Rapids, like I said, it's a little big town. It's like the perfect little big town. It's not a big city, but it's not a small town either. We have about a population of 400,000 in Grand Rapids proper, 500,000 give or take. But it's not a small city by any means. So when it comes to wage comparison, if you're thinking of a larger city such as Miami, Chicago, Detroit, Florida, all these other places where the population's a lot larger, you're gonna be able to make more. Aside from the furniture industry and the medical industry, those are 2 areas of West Michigan for sure that we have on lock. So when it comes to furniture industry, even automotive, you can find a pretty good career path there. But medical, let me tell you, some of the best medical you can get within the United States, definitely within the state of Michigan, some of the best medical here. So aside from that, the wage comparison, there are less opportunities simply because it's a smaller area. It's a smaller population. So keep that in mind. If you're looking to make the big bucks right out the gate, it may not be for you depending on your industry. However, if you're looking for an opportunity, there's so much growth here. And a fun fact is Ottawa County, which is right outside of Kent County. Right now I'm in Kent County, but Ottawa County is an adjacent county. It's the fastest growing county in Michigan. So that tells you something. A lot of people have their eye on West Michigan as just a place to be right now. There's so much growth. And even if you look behind me, check it out. They are restoring the rapids, like as we speak. And I feel actually kind of cool watching this happen in real time, because they call it Grand Rapids, but people are like, where are the rapids at? So they're actually tearing down the dams that are there to create more of a rapid and actually make the river here a lot more interactive, a lot more accessible. So if people want to kayak or go fishing or do things like that, they have easy access to it right in the downtown area. I cannot wait for all the updates that are going to happen within the city. Number 8 is going to be the Fringe airport routes. Now, I like to travel, people like to travel, and the airport routes in Grand Rapids at the Gerald R. Ford Airport are limited as far as destinations. A lot of the bigger airlines don't typically make this a hub. Really, it's growing, the airport's growing, but it's not a hub to where you can fly international. So typically when it comes to flying out of Grand Rapids to go international, especially, you have to go to a Detroit, you have to go to a LAX, you have to go to a Chicago O'Hare or something like that. But they're all close. They're all maybe half-hour airplane ride to get there, so keep that in mind, that there are no direct flights to out of the country typically, and limited as far as some other states. So keep that in mind as you're flying to and from. You're probably going to have a layover, but there are specific airlines that have one-ways. Most of the time you're doing a layover in another city that has a bigger airport, more access to those other states and internationally. Keep it in mind. All right, I have reached my destination and I'm right on the river, the Grand River to be exact. And like I told you, number 9 is gonna be a huge reason why people may or may not move here legitimately. And what that is going to be the housing costs and the market here, the housing market in West Michigan. And as number 9, the average home price in West Michigan is about $320,000, right in that range as far as what people are paying for your average home. Talking 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,500 square foot home, depending on your area. Now, in real estate, we know it's all location, location, location. Keeping that in mind is something that a lot of people are really thinking of as they're deciding. And if you're considering, know the cost of living. I've done more videos on this channel talking about the cost of living in Grand Rapids. So as you're deciding if it's for you, it's important to keep these things in mind, because most people start with their budget to see if an area is specifically for them. So as the housing costs are rising in the area, it's important to have your ducks in a row as far as what you can afford and what you can't. I know a lot of people are on Zillow searching to find out if this area is for them, but I did want to point that out as a huge reason why people may or may not move to the city. So you have made it to number 10. Congrats. If you are still on this video, then you're dedicated, man. You're probably one of the ones that this city is for you. You haven't hung up or given up on me yet. And number 10's not so bad, and some people actually enjoy it. I personally, I don't know if I could live with it or live without it, but I probably prefer not to have it be this way. There's nothing anybody can really do about, and it's the cloudy days here in Michigan. And it's the cloudy days here. All right, number 10, if you're still sticking around, you're definitely a trooper. You're probably thinking that Grand Rapids is a pretty good fit for you. If you made it this far and haven't given up on me or stopped watching the video, you're probably one of the real ones. You're probably a trooper. So I'm a local real estate agent. Go below, send me your information. Leave me a comment. I love to hear from people considering moving. What's your history here? What do you know about Grand Rapids? Am I right? Am I wrong? Let me know. But number 10 is going to be the cloudy days. Today is hot. It's probably somewhere between 85 and 90. I'm walking around with a stick and a long sleeve shirt on, but I'm enjoying myself because it's sunny out. And honestly, if you haven't noticed in this video already, people are out and about enjoying themselves. And even in the wintertime, when we get peaks of sun like this, people are out because the majority, I believe it's about 270 days, we have cloudy days here, which is a third of the year. It's a big chunk of the year that we're having cloudy days. So the good days that we have, everybody's taking advantage of. And if you can't handle the cloudy days, you might not make it. You might not be okay here. But at the same time, if you can get past them, it makes the sunny days 10 times better. Now, I know a lot of people need the sun for medical reasons or just, energy or just their own overall health, mental health, even things like that. But we don't get a ton of sunny days here. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, summertime, I always joke around and tell people we get a good 6 to 8 weeks of summer, but we go crazy. We love it. People are on the boat, people are walking, people are jogging, people are having fairs and going, doing field trips and things like that. So as you're deciding, you really want to know what's going on in Grand Rapids. Again, my name's Greathouse. I'm a local real estate agent here in West Michigan. Been helping families, hundreds of families all over the West Michigan area. And if you want to experience the Grand, reach out. I'll put my number and my email on the screen right now as we're wrapping up the video. But thank you for watching the video. Go ahead and feel free to subscribe. I'm so glad that you made it to the end of the video. Like I said, local real estate agent. I'm sweating. I'm about to go jump in a pool somewhere or jump in a lake. We'll see you on the next video. Take care.